Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another exciting night of Bible basketball. I hope everyone is doing all right this evening. The crowd is all excited and ready to get started. We are looking for a good game tonight. So I hope everyone is doing all right. It's a beautiful day here in Chicago. Not too hot, not too cold, just a beautiful day. It's almost like September weather. So it's beautiful here in Chicago. So we're going to give a few minutes for our players to come on in and get started. We are playing the Bible Basketball Finals. This is the Bible Basketball Finals. And so it's going to be a really good game. It's going to be a really good game. So we're going to give a few minutes for the players to come on off the court, come on out of the locker room, and come on onto the court. So we're going to get ready to go down here to court side and check out some of the players who've made their way down. So we're getting ready to make our way to court side to check out some of these players. All right. We got some pretty good players out here warming up. They're all warming up, getting ready to get started. So, hello to my classmate Marva. God bless you, Marva. Good to see you this evening. I hope you doing all right. God bless you, my sister. The crowd is all excited about you being with us tonight. So you get ready to show your skills, Marva. And again, thank you all for stopping by the church. Thank you all for stopping by the church. All right. So the players out there warming up, showing off their skills. We're going to give them a few minutes to come on out of that locker room, come on the court, warm up, get loose, stretch the muscle, shoot a few balls through the hoop so they can be prepared for these Bible basketball finals. There's a lot going on, but that's all right. We're going to make it through. We're going to make it in these Bible basketball finals. All right. And my sister Marva is ready. She ready. She had to go at it by herself. She'll go at it by herself. But this sister is ready. And the crowd is all excited. Look at her shooting them three balls. All right. Shoot them three balls. Make sure you shoot them three balls when the game starts. All right. All right, we're going to give another minute and then we're going to get started, Marva. If you got to run down that court all by yourself, you take it on by yourself. Because sometimes in this race, we got to run all by ourselves. But that's all right. We know that we are never alone. The Lord is always with us. And so, good evening to my beautiful wife. Here comes our first lady. She's ready to get started. All right. And so we're going to be coming out of the book of Jonah. First and second chapter of Jonah. We're going to be coming out of the book of Jonah. So if everybody's ready to get started, then let's pull up our questions from the book of Jonah. So here comes our first question. And the first question says, the Lord told Jonah to go to this city. What city did God tell Jonah to go to as our players get ready to head down the court? Was it A, Jerusalem, B, Antioch, C, Nineveh, or D, Joppa? Who gonna take off down the court first on this one here? And there goes our first lady takes off down the court with Nineveh. Down the court she goes with Nineveh. She goes between her legs, behind her back with Nineveh. The crowds are excited as the first lady takes off down the court with Nineveh. Do she have to take it by herself? She goes between her legs. She goes behind her back. And look at her go with Nineveh. That's what I call some good ball handling. She is handling that ball. Back and forth she go with Nineveh. Down the court she go with Nineveh. Can't get that E at the end, huh? It's Nineve, Nineveh. But we usually type how we speak. So down the court she goes with Nineveh. Is this a slam dunk with Nineveh? There she come with it, with that Nineveh. All right, down the court she goes with Nineveh. Where's my sister Marva? Is she gonna get with her? Is the first lady gotta take it all by herself with Nineveh? Is this a slam dunk with Nineveh? That is correct. Way to slam it. The first lady slammed it all by herself with Nineveh. Way to slam it. All right, let's get ready to head down the court with our next question. Next question said, where did Jonah board a ship? Where did he board a ship at? Was it A, Jerusalem, B, Tarshish, C, Nineveh, or D, Joppa? Where did Jonah board a ship at? Who gonna take off down the court on this one here? Where did Jonah board the ship at? Who gonna take off down the court? The players are they're still in the huddle. Who gonna come out of that huddle? And there comes the first lady out of the huddle with Joppa. She goes down the court with Joppa. And she goes between her legs and behind her back with Joppa. Was it Joppa? Or maybe somebody sees something different. Maybe it's Jerusalem as she goes between defenders. Maybe it's Tarshish. Or maybe it was Nineveh. Who gonna take off with and help out our sister today? As she head down the court all by herself with Joppa. Down the court she go with Joppa. Or do you see something different? Where did Jonah board that ship? Maybe he stayed in Nineveh. Or maybe he went down to Jerusalem. But our first lady is sticking with Joppa. Down the court she goes all by herself with Joppa. Is this another slam dunk from the first lady? She getting ready to put up for a three-pointer. Can she hit this three-pointer? Can our first lady hit this three-pointer? Is it Joppa? That is correct. Our first lady hits a three-pointer from way down there. Way to hit that three-pointer from half court. All right, let's get ready to head down the court with our next question. Next question says, where was the ship going? Where was the ship going? Was it going A, to Jerusalem, B, Tarshish, C, Nineveh, D, Joppa? Where was this ship going to? Man, they got us all locked out of the place, but our first lady is getting right with it. She said that ship was headed to Tarshish. Down the court we go with Tarshish as the first lady goes between her legs. The defenders are all around her. She's going at it by herself. Down between defenders. She has no one to pass to. And she go between the defenders. They all around her. They're trying to get her. Can she make it all by herself again? And she goes between defenders with Tarshish. Maybe somebody sees something different. Maybe it was Jerusalem. Or maybe it was Nineveh. Maybe it was Joppa. Is the first lady correct again with Tarshish? Let's check it out. Is she correct? That is correct. She's correct again with Tarshish. She shoots another three-pointer from half court all by herself. This sister knows how to play ball. All right, let's get ready to head down the court with our next question. Next question says, what was Jonah doing when the storm began? Was he A, eating, B, sleeping, C, praying, D, throwing wares overboard? What was he doing when the storm came? What was Jonah doing? Eating, sleeping, praying, or throwing wares overboard? We're going to take off down the court as our players are still in the huddle. The first lady has been going at it by herself. Can she carry this team? Here she goes again down the court with sleep. Down the court, the first lady goes with sleep. Jonah was sleeping when the storm began. Can she do it again all by herself? Or was he eating? Was he sleeping? And now here comes our sister Marva. God bless you, Marva. She getting with the first lady. The first lady been doing it by herself, but now she got some help. And Sister Marva passes it back to the first lady. Down the court, they go back and forth between Knott and the first lady with sleeping. Is this a slam dunk? Can she alley hoop it to her for a slam dunk as they go down the court with sleeping back and forth between Sister Marva and the first lady? Is this a alley hoop to a slam dunk? Is that correct? Sleeping. That is correct. Alley hoop to her from the first lady to Sister Marva. That's what I'm talking about. Alley hoop. All right. Alley hoop to a 360 dunk. All right. Let's get ready to head down the court with our next question. Next question said, how did they determine who caused the evil to come upon them? What did they do? A, ask God. B, ask every man. C, ask the captain. Or D, they cast lots. Who gonna take off down the court on this one here? What did they do to find out who caused the evil? And there goes our first lady, takes off down the court with cast lots. Down the court she going with cast lots. But it may have been ask God. It may have been every man. It may have been the captain. So are we going with cast lot? She go between her legs and spins around and sticking with cast lots. And here she passes it to Sister Kennedy. Down the court, Sister Kennedy goes with cast lots. She is determined. The defenders are all around her. She goes between defenders. It's getting pretty rough. She passes back to the first lady, back to Sister Kennedy. As they go down the court, can they make another alley hoop into another slam dunk? As they go between the defenders, they are all around. The crowd is all excited. Is this another slam dunk? And here comes Sister Glenzie Cummins. Good evening, Sister Glenzie Cummins. Sister Glenzie Cummins gets in with cast lots. She go between her legs and down the court. As they go in, the first lady said, slam it. Is this a slam? Can Sister Glenzie slam this thing with cast lots? That is correct. Cast lots. They cast lots. Sister Glenzie comes on the court slamming. Way to slam it. All right, let's get ready to head down the court with the next question. Says, the men knew the storm was caused because what? A, Jonah fled from the Lord. B, of an unusual southern wind. C, Jonah was a stowaway. Or D, God wanted to kill him. The men knew. Why? Because the first lady takes off saying because Jonah fled. Down the court she go with Jonah fled. She go between her legs. Is that correct? Jonah fled from the Lord. Do somebody see something different? Maybe it was because of that wind. Or maybe because he was a stowaway. Or was it because God wanted to kill him? But here comes Sister Glenzie. The first lady passes it to Sister Glenzie. Sister Glenzie comes and go between her legs and behind her back. And she shows off before the crowd. And she passes it to Sister Kennedy. Sister Kennedy go between her legs and passes it back to Sister Glenzie. Is this another slam dunk? Jonah fled from the Lord. Sister Glenzie passes it back to Sister Kennedy. Back and forth they go down the court between Sister Glenzie and Sister Kennedy. Is this a slam dunk? Jonah fled from the Lord. Is this an alley hoop from Sister Glenzie to Sister Kennedy? Is this a slam dunk with Jonah fled from the Lord? That is correct. Jonah fled from the Lord. Alley hoop into a flying 360. Way to go. All right, let's get ready to head down the court with our next question. Next question says, what did Jonah say they must do to make the storm cease? A, fast and pray. B, row. C, meditate. D, throw him overboard. We're going to take off down the court. What you need to do to stop this storm? Fast and pray. Row, meditate, throw him overboard. And there goes our first lady down the court, said throw him overboard. Down the court she said throw him overboard. Throw the man overboard. Man, y'all are very harsh. But here comes Sister Glenzie. She passed to Sister Glenzie. Sister Glenzie said throw him overboard. Yeah, but he's a person. You gonna throw that man overboard? Yeah, throw him overboard. And Sister Glenzie passes it back to the first lady, who passes it to Sister Kennedy. Down the court, they said, throw him overboard. And she said it as she go between her leg and behind her back. Throw that man overboard. Sister First Lady said, slam it. As Sister Knott go down the court, they said, slam it. Throw that joker overboard. Do we need to throw him overboard? Is this a slam dunk with overboard? That is correct. Throw him overboard. Flying 360 slam on that one there. All right, let's head down the court with our next question. Say, what did the men pray? What did they pray? A, take us to the other shore. B, keep this boat together. C, hold us in your hand. Or D, lay not upon us innocent blood. What did they pray? We're going to take off down the court on this one here. What did those men pray? Take us to the shore. Keep the boat together. Hold us in your hand. Lay not innocent blood on us. And here come the first lady down the court saying, don't lay the innocent blood on us. Don't lay that innocent blood on us, because they threw a man overboard. They didn't know if that man was innocent or guilty, so they was a little afraid. Lay not the innocent blood. And here come our first lady, passes it to Sister Glenzie. Sister Glenzie go between her leg and passes it to Sister Kennedy. Sister Kennedy takes off down the court, go between her leg. Lay not the innocent blood on her. Man, what are y'all doing? Sister Kennedy, yeah, she hitting it so fast, she jumped from F to D, but that's all right. I know what you're talking about, sister. Lay not that innocent blood on her. Is this another slam dunk with this innocent blood? Don't lay that innocent blood on us. They didn't know whether that man was guilty or what. And that is correct. Lay not that innocent blood on us. Another flying 360 slam from that one there. Don't lay that innocent blood on us. All right, let's get ready to head down the court. The next question. Next question said, when the storm stopped, the men on the ship offered sacrifices and what else? A feast. B, music. C, made vows. Or D, they sang. What did they do after the storm ceased? They offered sacrifices and what else? And there goes our first lady, takes off down the court and said they made vows. Down the court she goes with made vows as she passes it to Sister Glenzie. Sister Glenzie passes it back to the first lady. Down the court between the leg, back and forth as the first lady passes it back to Sister Glenzie. Down the court they're showing off their skills. Sister Glenzie go between her legs and behind her back with vows. She passes the ball to Sister Kennedy. Sister Kennedy takes off down the court showing off her skill. Y'all sure y'all right about this here? Was it a feast? Did they play music? Did they sing? Down the court they go. And the first lady says, slam it. She's calling for another flying 360 slam as Sister Kennedy and Sister Glenzie go down the court. Is this our alley hoop from Sister Glenzie to Sister Kennedy? Is this another alley hoop? Can they slam it? Can they slam it? As the first lady called for a slam. That is correct. They made vows. Alley hoop into a slam dunk from Sister Glenzie to Sister Kennedy. All right. Let's get ready to head down the court with our next question. Next question says, how long was Jonah in the fish? How long was Jonah in the fish? A, 1 day and night, 2 days and night, 3 days and night, or 4 days and night? And there go the first lady, takes off down the court with 3 days and 3 nights. Down the court. Does somebody see something different? Maybe he stayed there 1 day. Maybe he stayed there 2 days. Maybe he stayed there 4 days. And here comes Sister Glenzie coming. First lady passes it to Sister Glenzie coming. Sister Glenzie coming, takes off down the court, passes it back to the first lady. The first lady passes it to Sister Kennedy. Sister Kennedy passes it back to the first lady. Down the court, the first lady goes as she passes it to Sister Glenzie coming. Sister Glenzie coming, go between her legs and passes it to Sister Kennedy. Sister Kennedy passes it back to Sister Glenzie coming. And here from out of nowhere off the bench comes Sister Annette Madden. Good evening, Sister Annette. Sister Annette takes off down the court. She is determined to slam it as she passes it to her sister-in-law, to Sister Kennedy. down and forth, back and forth between Sister Annette and Sister Kennedy. Is this an alley hoop into a slam? As the First Lady calls for a slam. Can Sister Annette and Sister Kennedy give us an alley hoop to a slam? Is it 3 days and 3 nights? That is correct. It was 3 days and 3 nights. Alley hoop from Sister Annette to Sister Kennedy. All right. That brings our first half to an end. That brings our first half of these NBA finals to an end. We asking everybody to get you a quick water break, take you a little rest, whatever you need to do before we start our second half. We don't want nobody to wear themselves out as we go on a commercial break. We're going on a commercial break, and then we're going to start our second half. We're going into Jonah chapter 2. We're continuing on in Jonah, which is what we've been talking about this week, the prophet Jonah. So you guys get you some water, Gatorade, whatever you need to drink. Good to see you all this evening. Hope everyone is doing okay as we get ready to pull up our questions for the second half. Get you a quick water break, get you some rest, because it's going to get a little tougher. This is the finals, and in the finals, it's pretty tough. It's pretty tough in the basketball, NBA basketball, Bible basketball finals. It get pretty tough sometimes. So I hope everybody got them a quick drink of water, and here comes our questions for our second half as the players come out of the locker room. We seeing our players coming back on the court, so we getting ready to go down the court side so we can get a good look at our players as they get ready to head down the court. We're getting ready to start our second half, and the players are back on the court. So here comes our question for the second half. Here it comes. Here's our first question. And the first question says, Jonah prayed to God from where? A, Nineveh. B, Tarshish. C, the fish's belly. D, Joppa. Where did he pray from? Who gonna take off down the court first on this one here? And that the First Lady said it was from the fish. And she passes it to Sister Glenzie. Sister Glenzie passes it between her legs, behind her back. Down the court, she going with fish. She is determined, and she go between her legs, and she passes it to Sister Kennedy. Sister Kennedy passes it back to Sister Glenzie. Down the court, Sister Glenzie go between her leg and passes it back to Sister Kennedy. Sister Kennedy go between her legs, showing off her skills. Down the court, she go down, showing off her skills as she passes it to Sister Annette Madden. Sister Madden takes off down the court. She go between her leg, behind her back. Can they catch Sister Madden? And she go between defenders. She passes it to Sister Kennedy. Sister Kennedy takes off down the court, going between defenders. She go behind her back. And she passes it back to Sister Madden. Sister Madden passes it back to Sister Kennedy as they go down the court. Is this another slam dunk? Is this another alley hoop from the Sister Madden to Sister Kennedy? The Kennedy sisters. Is this another slam dunk? Is it the belly of a fish? That is correct. It was the belly of a fish. Way to slam it on that one. Alley hoop to a flying 360 slam. All right, let's get ready to head down the court with our next question. Next question said, Jonah said, I cried by reason of what? A, the people of Nineveh. B, the people on the ship. C, my affliction. Or D, my doubt. Who gonna take off down the court? Why did Jonah cry? Why did Jonah cry? Because of his what? And there goes our First Lady, takes off down the court, and she said because of his affliction. Down the court, she goes between defenders, she passes it to Sister Glenzie Common. Sister Glenzie Common goes down the court, she goes between defenders, she spins around. Down the court, the First Lady and Sister Glenzie taking off down the court, and Sister Glenzie passes it to Sister Kennedy. Down the court, Sister Kennedy goes down the court, and the First Lady says slam it. She's calling for a slam, and Sister Glenzie passes it to Sister Kennedy. There calling for another alley hoop into a slam. Is this a slam dunk? Or maybe you see something different. Maybe he was crying because of Nineveh. Maybe he was crying because of the ship. Maybe he was crying because of his affliction. Or maybe he was crying because he was in doubt. The first lady said, slam it. Is this another alley hoop slam from Sister Glenzie to Sister Kennedy? As our first lady gets back in with affliction. When she said that affliction with an attitude, it was affliction. She is determined. And she takes off down the court. Is it affliction? Is this another slam dunk with the affliction? The first lady is determined. That is correct. It is affliction. Way to slam it on that one there. Flying 360 slam. Let's get ready to head down the court with our next question. Next question says, Jonah said he would look again toward what? What he gonna look toward? A, Nineveh. B, the lost. C, Joppa. D, the holy temple. Who gonna take off down the court on this one here? What is Jonah gonna look again to? What is he gonna look again to? And there goes our first lady trying to type in the holy temple, and all kind of stuff came up. But here comes Sister Glenzie Cummins is helping her out with the holy temple. And she comes again with all kind of H's, but we know what you're talking about. Holy temple. And she passes it to Sister Glenzie Cummins. Sister Glenzie got that thing down pat. Yeah, all right. He said he gonna look again to the holy temple. And there comes our first lady back again, and she passes it to Sister Glenzie Cummins with the holy temple. Look again to the holy temple. Look to the hill from whence coming your help. Sister Glenzie Cummins go behind her back, and she passes it to Sister Kennedy. Down the court, Sister Kennedy goes as Jonah said, look to the temple. He was in the belly of a fish. He was in the belly of a whale, talking about looking to the holy temple. That's all right. That is all right. They say he wasn't thinking about Nineveh. He wasn't thinking about the lost or Joppa. He was thinking about looking to the holy temple, looking to God. Is this a slam dunk with holy temple? That is correct. Another flying 360 slam with holy temple. All right, let's get ready to head down the court with our next question. Next question said, what was wrapped around Jonah's head? A, thoughts. B, weeds. C, vanities. Or D, lies. What was wrapped around his head? We're going to take off down the court first on this one here. What was wrapped around Jonah's head? And there goes our first lady, takes off down the court, said weeds was around his head. And she passes it to Sister Glenzie Cummins. Sister Glenzie Cummins go between her leg behind her back with weeds. This sister is determined as she spins around, go between defenders, and she passes it to Sister Kennedy. Down the court, Sister Kennedy and Sister Glenzie go down the court. But here comes Sister Annette. Sister Annette Madden steals it and go the other way with thoughts. I know what you're talking about. All kind of thoughts was going through his head. Down the court, Sister Madden go with thought. Can they catch her? Here comes the first lady. First lady catches her and go back the other way as she passes it to Sister Kennedy. Sister Kennedy passes it back to the first lady. She said it was weeds going around his head. And she passes it to Sister Glenzie. So Sister Glenzie passes it back to Sister Kennedy. Back and forth they go down the court with weeds as they pass to the first lady, back to Sister Glenzie, to Sister Knott. Back and forth they go down the court between Sister Knott and Sister Glenzie to the first lady with weeds. She said slam it. She said slam it. Is we gonna get another challenge? Are y'all gonna let them go with weeds? Are y'all gonna let them have it with weeds as they pass down the court back and forth with weeds? Is this another slam dunk with weeds? That is correct. Weeds was wrapped around. That old seaweed was wrapped around his head. Flying 360 slam on that one there. That old seaweed was wrapped around his head. Man, he was in a bad place. All right, let's get ready to head down the court with the next question. Next question said, Jonah said he went down to the bottoms of what? What did he go down to the bottoms of? A, mountains. C, the pit. D, the valley. D, life. C, valley, or D, life. And there goes our first lady said he went down to the bottoms of the mountain. Maybe somebody said a pit, or somebody said a valley, or somebody said he was down in life. Here comes Sister Glizzy Commons. She going with mountains. As the First Lady passes to her, she go between her legs and passes it back to the First Lady. And the First Lady passes it to Sister Madden. Sister Madden go between her leg behind her back and passes it back to Sister Glenzie. Sister Glenzie passes it to Sister Kennedy. Down the court she go between her leg and passes it back to Sister Glenzie Commons. Sister Glenzie Commons spins around, go between defenders. She passes it to Sister Annette Madden. Sister Annette Madden spins around and passes it back to Sister Commons. Sister Commons passes it to Sister Kennedy. Down the court, she passes it back to Sister Commons, and Sister Commons passes it back to Sister Kennedy. Is this another alley hoop from Sister Commons to Sister Kennedy? Is this an alley hoop with the mountains? That is correct. Alley hoop from Sister Glenzie to Sister Kennedy. Flying 360 alley hoop. All right, let's get ready to head down the court with the next question. Next question said, Jonah said God brought his life up from where? A, since he was a child. B, death. C, corruption. D, despair. Who gonna take off down the court? This is a tough one. This is the finals, and this is a tough one. But here comes our First Lady right away and said corruption. Is everybody in agreement with corruption, man? She passes it to Sister Glenzie. Is everybody up with agreement with corruption? Maybe somebody sees something different as the First Lady gets the ball and passes it back to Sister Glenzie. Sister Glenzie passes it to Sister Kennedy. Sister Kennedy passes Sister Annette Madden. Sister Madden goes between her leg behind her back and she passes it back to Sister Glenzie Commons. Down the court they going back and forth between the First Lady to Sister Commons to Sister Kennedy, Sister Annette Madden. Is this another slam dunk as they pass it? Is Sister Commons gonna send an alley hoop to Sister Annette Madden? Is this another alley hoop into a slam dunk? That is correct. Alley hoop from Sister Commons to Sister Annette. All right, alley hoop from Sister Commons to Sister Madden. All right, let's get ready to head down the court with the next question. Next question said, when his soul fainted within him, Jonah remembered what? He remembered A, his youth, B, his distress, C, his instruction, D, the Lord. Man, look at the First Lady. Before I could finish, she took off down the court with the Lord. This sister is ready. This is the finals. And she said the Lord. But here comes somebody else. Sister Glenzie come and see something different. She said prayers. I don't know where she got that from, but go ahead on. I'm with you, Sister Commons. But here comes the First Lady said, no, it was the Lord. And she passes it to Sister Kennedy. Sister Kennedy passes it to Sister Madden. Sister Annette Madden go between her legs and passes it back to the First Lady. The First Lady go between her legs and passes it back to Sister Kennedy. Okay, Sister Commons said the Lord and his prayers. All right. The Lord and his prayers. All right. Right. He remembered the Lord. We got what you're trying to say, Sister Commons. We got you. We together. All right. Down the court, they going with the Lord. And here the First Lady passes it to Sister Kennedy. Sister Kennedy speeds down the court between her leg behind her back. And she goes and she passes it back to Sister Madden, back to Sister Glenzie with the Lord. It is the Lord. Is this a slam dunk with the Lord and his prayers? Are we all in agreement with the Lord? That is correct. He remembered the Lord. We got to always remember the Lord. Flying 360 slam on that one. Always remember the Lord. All right, let's get ready to head down the court with the next question. Next question said, they who observe lying vanities, what? A, shall fall. B, deceive themselves. C, forsake their own mercy. Or D, are foolish. They who observe lying vanities are what? They shall fall. Deceive themselves. Forsake their own mercy. What? Foolish. And who we're going to take off down the court, and that goes our First Lady said they forsake their own mercies. Down the court they going with forsake their own mercy as she passes it to Sister Glenzie Commons. Sister Glenzie go between her leg behind her back and pass it back to the First Lady, back to Sister Glenzie. Back and forth they go as they pass it to Sister Kennedy. Sister Kennedy passes it to Sister Annette Madden. Sister Annette Man go between her legs and passes it to Sister Common. Sister Common takes off down the court and passes it back to Sister Kennedy. Down the court they go. Down the court they go. The First Lady says slam it. The First Lady said slam it as they take off down the court. As they said, forsake the mercies. Is this another slam dunk? As they go between the leg, behind the back. Is this another slam dunk? From Sister Kennedy to Sister Annette Madden to Sister Glenzie Common, back to Sister Kennedy. Is this a slam dunk? The First Lady is calling for a slam. Is this a slam dunk? Yes, they forsake their own mercy. Where they slam it there? When you observe vanities, lying vanities, you forsake your own mercy. You take away your own strength. You just separate yourself from God. All right, let's get ready to head down the court with the next question. Next question said, this is of the Lord. What is of the Lord? A, integrity. B, life. C, salvation. D, honesty. Man, all of them sound good to me, but here comes our First Lady, takes off down the court, says salvation is of the Lord. Down the court she go with salvation, and she typing them fingers pretty fast, and she passes it to Sister Common. Down the court, Sister Common go with salvation is of the Lord. And she go between the leg. Behind her back, she passes it to Sister Kennedy. Sister Kennedy takes off down the court and passes it back to the First Lady. Back and forth to First Lady and Sister Kennedy going down the court with salvation is of the Lord. Is this a slam dunk? Man, integrity sounds good to me. Life sounds good to me. Honesty sounds good to me. First Lady said slam it. All of them sound good to me. As Sister Glenzie Commons go between her legs and pass it back to Sister Kennedy. They're showing off their skills today. They said that salvation is of the Lord. Are we all in agreement that it is salvation? And Sister Kennedy passes to the First Lady, back to Sister Kennedy. Is this a slam with salvation is of the Lord? That is correct. Salvation is of the Lord. Way to slam it. Flying 360 slam on that one now. All right, let's get ready to head down the court with the next question. Saying the Lord spoke to the fish and it vomited Jonah where? Where did it vomit him at? A, on dry land. B, into the sea. C, to his death. Or D, back into the ship. Who gonna take off down the court on this one here? And there goes our First Lady, said it vomited him onto dry land. Down the court she go with dry land. And she go between her leg and behind her back with dry land. She passes it to Sister Glenzie Common. Sister Glenzie Common passes it back to the First Lady. Said that fish vomited him on dry land. Are we all in agreement with dry land? Maybe somebody sees something different. Sister Glenzie Cummins is typing dry naked land, dry land. All right, I hear you. I know what you're saying. And she passes it to Sister Annette Madden. Sister Annette Madden said dry land. And she passes it to Sister Kennedy. She go between her legs, back and forth between Sister Knott and Sister Kennedy. Sister Kennedy is passing back and forth between her and Sister Madden. They going back and forth as they passes it to Sister Glenzie Cummins. Sister Glenzie passes back to the First Lady. This is the last shot. This is the final second. Can y'all win this thing? Can y'all win this thing? As the NBA Finals is coming to an end, the seconds are ticking on the clock. They're shooting back and forth. Back and forth they're going. Is it dry land? Are we all in agreement with dry land? And Sister Glenzie passed to Sister Knott to back and forth with dry land. Are we all in agreement with dry land? Are we all in agreement? Everybody's saying dry land. Is that the right thing? Man, they going back and forth. Seconds are ticking on the clock. This is the last shot. First Lady said slam it. They're going back and forth. Sister Glenzie Common says slam it. Is this a slam with dry land? They go back and forth. Sister Glenzie and Sister Knott, and they all going back and forth. They said slam it. Is this a slam with dry land? That is correct. Way to slam it. Y'all went out with a slam. It is dry land. Man, good game. That was a good game. Way to go out with a slam. We like to thank you all for being a part of this NBA Finals. These are the finals. And it gets pretty tough in these finals, but hang on in there. It gets tough. It gets tough, but y'all just keep playing. We gonna make it. God got a final. We trying to make it. We trying to make it. And I hope we all make it and be together in that final up in heaven. Great game, good game, everyone. Like to thank you all. Remember to trust the process and keep God first, no matter what you're going through. No matter what happens in life, trust the process. Be like Jonah, trust the process. Thank you, Sister Kennedy. God bless you. Thank you for stopping by and being with us this evening. Thank you to my wife, our First Lady, for being with us this evening. Thank you, Sister Glenzie Commons. God bless you. Thank you for being with us this evening. Good game, sisters and brothers. Be blessed. You be blessed too. Thank you. Thank you to you all, Sister Annette Madden. God bless you, my sister. Thank you for coming by and being with us this evening. You have a blessed evening. Thank you to you all, Sister Kennedy. God bless you not. Thank you for being with us this evening. If I miss anybody, charge it to my eyes and not my heart. Thank you to you all. Thank you, First Lady. God bless you. God bless you all. Y'all have a blessed evening. Trust the process and keep God first.